Okay, should be live. Let me check my audio. Okay. So, hola, now and in the future, hola. We are here tonight because we finally hit 2,500 subs. It was actually like 2 days ago, and it went from 25 to like 24.99 because YouTube does that. But we're back at 2,500, and this stream is a big old thank you to everyone who put up with us for the last 3 years that we've been doing this. We tried to build the channel as organically as possible. Uh, YouTube was new to us. I think we've gotten better. You think we've gotten better?
It is what it is.
Yeah.
We just try to be ourselves, and we try to. Hey, B. We just try to give you information we think that would be useful, but yeah.
And we like to have a little fun.
Yeah, we always try to have fun.
You can't always talk about the same thing over and over again. So sometimes we just want to have some fun. Life in Cuenca. Would you like to talk about that real quick?
Life in Cuenca is good. It's really good. We are really enjoying Cuenca, the weather, just everything, the access, things to do. There's a lot to do in Cuenca, from going to the museum. They have a lot of art shows, theaters, stuff like that.
Lots of crafts and vendors, and just pretty much anything you want out of that. I don't know, outside of the U.S. life, like the things that you might want to experience if you're on a trip. Only it's like here all the time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kathy. Kathy, we enjoy being our authentic selves too.
Too much.
I can't be fake. Like it's hard to be fake. I don't know. I don't know how some people do it. Pamela Jones,
our
Friendsgiving mini video.
Yeah.
We had a good time. We met a lot of people that we hadn't actually met in person.
Yeah.
And that was wonderful. It was wonderful seeing all those faces and just having a good time, and eating some good food. You get a bunch of people together, make some good old down home food here in South America. So like we were saying, 2,500 subs. If anyone happens to be watching this stream now and in the future, if you're not a sub, hit the subscribe button, please, and hit the like button on the video.
And share.
Exactly. Agreed. Being fake takes way more energy.
It definitely
does. You ain't lying.
Because I've been on forgot.
Yeah. There are times. Look, y'all don't know. There are times we want to like do a video, and there's almost no way to do it without being kind of fake. So we just don't do it. We just like, let's do something else. Like we can't fake this. It's,
Only when we're acting.
Yeah. Like, that's different. That's different. Hey, Lorana.
Hey, Lorana.
So, yes, we want to increase our subs, obviously, but
they go to rain.
Yes,
we're getting
rain.
rain.
We're getting rain. It's been raining the last few days. But of course, we want to say thank you to everyone who has subbed to us. We really appreciate it. We know you ain't got to stick with us, so we know there's other options and everything. So we really appreciate it. And we just want to grow, maybe 10,000 by the end of next year. Who knows?
However it goes, it goes. We're thankful for all of it. So
100,000. Anyway, um, December is festive. A little bit tourist family for December. I'm coming, but need to find a place. If I can see if full or going to be full, please advise.
we don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
We were not here in
Around
Cuenca
Christmas.
during Christmas time.
Yeah.
But we're looking forward to it. So
Yeah, we're not planning on having any family or anything visit this Christmas. We're really learning our way around the holiday this year because we're used to how it is in Salinas. Like Ecuador in general is really festive around the holidays. You can say it's good or as bad as the United States because as soon as like Halloween passes, there's like Christmas decorations everywhere.
So we're gonna talk about Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So Thanksgiving here in Cuenca. Well, no, Black Friday. Sorry, Black Friday.
Black Week.
Was it? It was only a black few days.
Well, they had Black Week like sales all over the place too.
Yeah. It was. What did we do last year when we was in Salinas? Did we go out? I don't think it was. Yeah, we did. We went out the day after Thanksgiving in Salinas, and it was not. It wasn't. There were not long lines.
Right.
Like they were here in Cuenca, and here when they do Black Friday here, they're not out buying materialistic stuff.
Yeah.
Like they may get TVs and stuff, but they're buying the essential things for their family, rice.
Yeah. Because those things are on Black Friday sales. Like it's
2 for 1.
Yeah.
Buy one get one. BOGO is real here.
Yeah.
And I happened to find myself out there. We went on
by accident once.
Yeah, I was running to the store on Thanksgiving, and we went to the store and we kept going because the line was wrapped around the building because they started on Thanksgiving. I guess Thanksgiving evening.
Yeah, and hold on 1 second. Let me turn this off just in case we get blurry. It may hiccup for a second, but you're in. Okay. I think we're good. Okay. I'm sorry about that. So, as you were saying, Sean, I'm sorry, about going out that day by accident.
Yeah, we didn't go to the grocery store. So we went back on Saturday, and it wasn't as bad. I don't know how Friday was, but I can believe it was
packed.
Very packed.
Yeah.
But just know here in Cuenca, we saw
on sale.
They were on sale, and there were no fights. Nobody trying to kill a person over a bag of rice.
Right.
They had enough for a lot of people. I can't say I don't think I walked in and there was things that were not on the shelves.
The shelves are pretty full. Yeah, they're pretty. Because the day before we happened to go to the store and they were stocking up.
They were
every employee must have been working at the grocery store that's closest to us, and they were just stocking all the shelves with all kinds of stuff, moving stuff around.
Yeah.
So they were ready. They knew what was coming on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, we didn't know.
I didn't know.
It wasn't quite that bad in Salinas.
No.
Yeah, it wasn't quite that bad.
But in Cuenca, it was a sight to see. But I appreciate that the fact that they were buying essential things for their family.
Right. Kathy, to answer your question, if you're gonna be around for a while, then hold them off to the end. But if you got to leave, you can ask questions now. That's no problem. I don't want to leave you hanging. So if you gotta skate out,
just put it up in the chat box if you have a question.
I'll try to make sure we get to it. But yeah, Friendsgiving, we had 3 of them. 3 Friendsgivings this month. Last month.
And they were all fun.
They were all fun. Food was good. Good people. We met new people each time.
Yes.
And that's
and LaRonna was one of the ones who hosted.
One of our gracious hosts.
She did our friends. What was it? Amigas
birthday.
Feliz Cumpleaños.
Yeah.
Because it was like 4 of us having a birthday in November.
Yeah. So it was like birthday party / Friendsgiving.
So it was great. Okay. What was your next topic, sweetheart?
Oh, the Black Friday Ecuador. Almost fell off my chair when I saw that last week. Yeah, yeah, they do it. Thanksgiving isn't a thing, but Black Friday definitely is. Um, so all right, it's holiday season, and of course, if we were in the States, you're buying gifts and for your family and friends and kids and stuff. Uh, Here in Ecuador, specifically in Cuenca, because it was a little different for us in Salinas. Access was a little different. It was harder to get certain things because there weren't as many places to shop, and I mean by like department stores, as there are here. So if certain things are unavailable to you, you are able to order things here to Ecuador, depending on how you want to get them received. There are excuse me, there are plenty of stores in the country that you can order from directly, and they will ship stuff directly to you. But if it's something specific that you want, that it's on like from like
Amazon,
Target, Walmart, wherever, China, whatever it is.
There's a lot of stuff coming from China.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff from China. So you can get Temu orders here. Just know that it's not going to cost you. It's not going to be as inexpensive as it is in the U.S. And I'm probably being really obvious here, but it may not dawn on people like how much you're going to have to pay for the import fees sometimes.
And not only that, your price is not going to be the same as what you would find on a regular Amazon. So if you're looking for, let's say if you want a Ninja blender, on Amazon, that blender may be $49. But if you go to T and the Mia?
Yeah.
You go to T and the Mia, it may be $129 or $99 because they're going to increase the cost for, I guess, part of the import fees.
Yeah, they added into the cost, which is cool because if you order the same thing on Amazon, that cost isn't necessarily upfront.
No. They would take that import fee
on the
back
on the tail end. So like, yeah, you think you order something that's going to cost this much, and then you get a message. You get a message from customs, and you got to pay some money.
Right. Well, not only that, when you get to the end of the checkout,
oh yeah.
Amazon would definitely, if you were going to spend $150, Amazon is, by the time you get to the checkout, it's like $350.
Yeah, and trying to figure out like what things are going to tack on extra costs can be difficult. Mm-hmm. So like, just as an example, if you have a cart with like 10 things in it, but you're not going to order them all at the same time. You may say, "Oh, I want like 2 or 3 of these items," right? Well, you click on the 2 or 3 that you want, and the first 2 add a little bit of shipping costs, obviously, but then the third one adds like $110 of shipping for something that costs $20, and it's really hard to kind of figure out exactly which items are going to take you over that limit. If you have a service, it can be easier because it can tell you the weight. Because sometimes the weight determines whether it fits in the 4x4, and if it doesn't, then you're going to pay a lot more. But you will have to kind of do a trial and error on that. If you're on Amazon, click on the things, like click shipping, and click on like however many items you want to send, and you'll see the jump. You'll see that jump, and you know exactly what I mean.
Is anyone else having issues hearing us?
Let me make sure. I thought it was up all the way. Let me see.
You don't want it up too loud because last time it was really loud.
Oh, that was our microphones that time. I had the microphones turned up.
It's up.
Yeah, it's up. Okay. It's probably because this microphone's a little far away from us. Can you buy sheets here?
Yes. They're going to be expensive.
The good ones.
I don't know the quality of them because I brought my own sheets. When we were doing our move here, I asked questions, about towels, sheets, and stuff like that. And a lot of people left comments to buy my sheets before I came, buy my towels before I came. And so you can get them here. I don't know the quality of them.
So, all right, still talking about the bring your sheets. Yeah, Lorana's absolutely correct. If there's one thing you want to make some room for in your luggage, it's towels and sheets. So yeah, online orders, you can get most things here. I mean, I'm not, if you're trying to like order
If you're trying to order a KitchenAid,
you mean the mixer?
the mixer.
Okay.
If you are in the U.S., I would say bring your own because you're more likely pay less. Because here I looked at a few of them, they run 5 and up.
100.
5. Well, I know they.
If you say five, someone will say
buys,
she said $5.
No, anyone who knows KitchenAid know it's not $5. They know it's not $50. Okay, a mixer. I think I looked at one in Keto. It was $800, $850. I looked recently. I forgot where I was, and it was $550. Yeah. And I still won't buy.
There's other brands, obviously.
Yeah, but it's nothing
but
like
it's not a
KitchenAid.
KitchenAid.
Just like a Vitamix.
Yeah. So, yeah, if there's certain things you want, you may need to like. It may be cheaper to just get them when you happen to be traveling back and forth to the U.S. or to like Panama or something like that. To get it then than to try to order it here. Unless it's something you just really want and you got a little extra money to spend, by all means, if it fits in the 4x4, and that's the next thing I'm going to get to. Unless
it's not going to fit in the 4x4. It weighs too much.
The Ninja or the
the KitchenAid. Yeah, it weighs
yeah,
too much.
Yeah, it weighs more than.
Now, if you're moving here and you're going to have a container, put everything you want in that container and bring it. So.
And that's going to cost you too. But if you're planning on doing that, then you already know how much it's going to cost you. So I want to explain the 4x4 the best I can. So what I'm going to do is actually like read a little bit from the government website, so that, but as a basic thing, the 4x4 means you can import something that's 4 kilos, no more than 4 kilos. And no more than $400.
Is that one order?
It can be one order, but it can be multiple items. All right. So what I mean is, it can be one shipment, but multiple items. So like you can have 3, 4, 5 items as long as it's under those numbers, or it could be one item that's under those numbers. Once you go outside of that, you're gonna have to pay more in customs, and it can be a lot, honestly. Because we've dealt with that a few times, actually.
Is it the, are you talking about like the weight of something? Do they charge like the $8 or is that what you're talking about?
Well, typically, like if you do any kind of import, like an import service, like we have Serbian Traeger, they charge anywhere from like $8 to $10 per pound for the import cost, which is about what you're going to end up paying if you have it shipped from like Amazon or somewhere else.
So, not necessarily.
Well, I'm just saying, like, in general, if it's not in that 4x4, what makes it tricky is you don't know exactly how much you're going to have to pay until it gets to customs.
Yeah.
And then they send you a message and say, hey, we got your stuff in customs. This is what you need to pay to get it.
And there's no questions about it. Either you're going to pay it
or yeah, they're going to keep it. And you've already paid for it.
Yeah.
So... yeah, the 4x4 makes it a lot less expensive. I can give you an example. So, if there was one time we previously ordered from Amazon, and I didn't realize when I was sending the stuff. I'm sorry, it wasn't just Amazon. It was like Walmart and Target or something like that. I sent them to the box in Miami. I had some of those items sent in the 4x4 because it fit under the 4 kilos. But not all of the items fit under the 4 kilos. So I only sent a few of them in the 4x4. I sent the other items individually, not realizing how much it was going to cost me. So when those items got to customs in Ecuador, the customs agents sent me a message saying like I had to pay for each of those individually. And one of them was like an item that cost, it might have been like less than $30, but the import fee was like $40. So they can get you. If you hear that, there's like an alarm or something going on outside. Um,
Need some water.
no, thank you. So I'm gonna read that 4x4 regulation. It's not that long. Give me 1 second. So it's category B in the 4x4, and it's packages weighing less than or equal to 4 kilograms and with a FOB value of less than or equal to 400 US dollars or its equivalent in another currency, provided that the goods are not for commercial purposes. To qualify for this category, the value and weight characteristics must be represented simultaneously. The recipient must present the customs declaration together with the supporting and accompanying documents that correspond according to the legal regulations in force. So, and for a year, for your cedula number, which they're going to need, honestly, I can't remember if you can do this with a passport or not. You may be able to. But anyway, it's still tracked to you. And you get $1,600 worth of goods in the fiscal year. So you can't just keep doing it over and over again, because once you hit the $1,600 limit, everything you bring after that is you're going to have to pay the normal import fee.
So what supporting documentation are they referring to?
Well, that is, hold on, let me get my chat window back. That is usually, if you're doing it on your own, which I probably wouldn't recommend, then you're going to have to supply whatever documentation customs need. If you're going through some kind of service, or if it's Amazon, because Amazon ships here, like they're going to take care of the documentation part for customs. Especially Amazon. If you're using a service like Serbian Traeger that has a box in Miami, you have to give them the invoice and the price and the description of everything that you're ordering that's coming to them.
And it has to match.
And it absolutely has to match, because they will send you a message saying this doesn't match, and you got to upload that information again.
And try to figure out what it is that you're missing, because It's not that easy when they send you a message saying what something is missing.
Yeah, because they aren't the best at communication. Like they'll send you like an automated message, and then you reply, and you think you're doing the right thing. You get another automated message in reply. You try to call. I tried to call, and the person didn't speak English, but it's in Miami. Like, all right, whatever. That being said, if once you have all the correct documentation, they can then bill you for the shipping costs, and then they send it. There are other
couriers?
Yeah, couriers. Serbian Traegers is the one we happen to use because they're like a big courier in the country, and they have offices everywhere, so that's why we use them.
But depending on who you're shipping from, like say if you want to ship to your house directly, you may not get Serbian Traeger. You may get other couriers.
Right.
And
sometimes you don't know unless. Okay, so to your point, if you're ordering directly from like Temu or something, right? You may get a different courier. What was that one? Global? What is it called?
I don't know.
I can't remember. There's another one. You don't know who's actually going to deliver it once it gets into the country, because there are other courier services.
Yes.
The reason that we use a Serbian Traeger box in Miami is because we know that they're going to deliver it. Like that's the one advantage of it.
But when I did order from Temu, I don't know who the courier was, but I had to go pick up my item. Yeah, I ordered in when we was in Salinas. I had to go pick up my item. I had never heard of this courier, and I had to ask our taxi driver if he knew where it was, and he did.
Yeah, it was somewhere in Libertad.
Yeah,
we didn't even know it was there.
So yeah, it just depends. You never know.
Yeah.
I've seen people have some issues with other carriers not sending them messages, or sending them messages and they need to do more than what they thought they needed to do, like having documentation and all of this.
Yeah, it's weird. So yeah, it's kind of a crapshoot. You don't exactly know who's bringing your packages. Recently, we ordered directly from Amazon, and DHL DHL brought it from the U.S. to Ecuador, but also delivered it to Cuenca, which we hadn't dealt with before.
Yeah, and
And they, unless you're actually at the location that you,
they would not drop off.
they won't just drop it off. We had to go to the office to pick up one of the packages. And then another package just so happened that the driver called me. The driver happened to speak English, and I met him down the street. So like you might get lucky, but like don't count on it.
Yeah.
B, if you want to bring a Breville espresso machine, it shouldn't be a problem. If you can fit in your luggage, if you fit anything in your luggage, it shouldn't be a problem.
If you can get in there, check luggage and put a lock on it.
Yeah, for real. Put a bunch of clothes and blankets around it or something. I don't know. So yes, with the 4x4, it is very convenient. I recently did an order where I thought it was going to cost me a lot more to ship the stuff, but it actually fit in the 4x4 category to bring those 3 items, and then it cut the price of the shipping in half. Actually, more than half, almost 2/3. So if you use the 4x4, it is like it's a huge advantage. So you may have to split up your orders, because for the courier that we use, I can't speak for the other ones. For one that we use, we can leave the items at their warehouse for 60 days. So I'm not like in a hurry to get all those items at one time. The disadvantage is if I send items in the 4x4, I can't schedule other items to come 4x4 until those first set of items arrive.
Are delivered.
Yeah, once they're delivered, then I can order another set of 4x4.
Okay, so moving on from the 4x4 and online orders, I did get a message from a friend that the Ecuador's Ministry of Foreign Affairs are doing audits on visas issued over the last 5 years, because there has, I guess, they noticed some
irregularities. Some not so legit visas out here.
Yeah, and if they come across an irregularity of your visa, like some documentation or something wasn't done correctly, you will have the option to start over, start the process over, or you have to leave Ecuador.
Right.
So this they're going back 5 years, so this will be 2019. And those, what it says, the irregularities, or if it failed to meet the legal standards, which means fraudulent documentation, failure to meet essential requirements, improper administrative procedures, you may get notified. I think they said it would send an email or somehow send you notification there's a problem with your visa.
Right. Because part of the registration process, you have to give them you have to have a good email address, and I don't know if they're gonna call you because your phone numbers could change, but I know they got your email address.
Yeah, it said failure to do so could result in a cancellation of their immigration status, potentially requiring you to leave the country or begin new regulation process. So if you're going to get your visa here, make sure you find a reputable immigration lawyer, immigration facilitator.
Mm-hmm. I know one of the issues that they're looking at is people that use like special favors to get their documentation pushed through. It's like they're auditing that stuff too. If you had everything you needed, or you thought you did, or maybe you didn't, and whoever's working on your visa, like I don't know, slid somebody some cash and got your stuff pushed through, you're looking at that kind of stuff too.
And it said recommendation for foreign resident. In light of this situation, it is recommended that foreign residents verify the validity of their visa and the documentation submitted during the application process. Consult with legal experts in immigration law to ensure compliance with current regulations. Keep their legal documents up to date. such as your notarial powers of attorney, criminal background certificates, and rental agreements. So that popped up. I hope those that are here, and I hope we all are good.
Yeah.
Because you never know, and we haven't slipped anybody anything. We paid what we were supposed to pay.
Yeah, we're too cheap to give extra.
But anyway, just if you decide to come and you're in the process of doing that, just make sure you are making sure you have a reputable immigration lawyer or facilitator.
All right.
You said you had
My chat disconnected. I had to make sure it's okay. There we go.
what was the other thing you were going to talk about?
I think that might have been it with the 4x4 and visas. I think that was it.
That was it.
You know my memory's bad.
So if you have any questions
Yes.
that you may want to ask,
Please ask us questions, and we have a few that we like to answer that we got from some viewers. Birthday fiesta next year. LaRon is a very gracious host.
so we were asked, what are our top 5 coping skills for the power outages, whether it's scheduled or unscheduled? We entertain ourselves.
Yeah, we play a lot of games. Honestly, like, we're both really competitive, and Pamela, we're gonna get to your question in a second. We're both really competitive, and not to a unhealthy degree or anything, but we like playing games, whether it be cards, some board games, like tabletop war games, like all kinds of stuff. We'll pretty much learn anything that's competitive and try to play. I know that's one coping skill.
Yeah, that's a coping skill. Or if we're not in the mood to play games, I'll crochet or sew by hand.
If it's daylight.
Yeah. Or turn on
we have some lights.
candles.
Yeah, we have some lights.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what we do. Or we talk to one another.
YouTube, like.
Well, he does a lot of YouTube
Our
on
internet
his phone.
is almost always working, so even when the power's out.
No, if the the battery backup go out,
No, I'm talking about the Wi-Fi.
Oh, you're talking about the Wi-Fi. Okay.
Yeah, the Wi-Fi is usually on, but even afterwards, our data's usually working fine anyway.
Pamela says, "What is your favorite thing about Cuenca so far?"
We might have separate
Peace.
opinions on that.
The peace and quiet.
Quiet.
Yeah.
For me, I think it's I will say this: it's probably going to change over time, but for right now, it's just something new, and like it's just a new situation and a new. I'm the type of person, I like new things. I don't like being stagnant, and this place offers a lot to do and a lot to see. So it being new is like my favorite thing about it. Honestly.
Yeah, that's for him. I can just sit all day and not do anything.
And well, I mean, so can I, but I know I have the option.
Yeah, you have the options.
Right.
So it's choices.
That's
choices here.
Yeah.
B said once she land in Cuenca, how hard or easy to find a place. It depends.
Yeah.
You can use a realtor, and they'll be more than gracious to help you find what you're looking for. You can go on Facebook Marketplace. There are different outlets that you can find somewhere to stay. Word of mouth.
That's another good one.
Yeah.
And
it all depends on what you're looking for.
Right.
If you want to be near where all the action, if you want to be on the outskirts, if you want to be near public transportation, all of those things factor in what you want. But
it's definitely not hard.
It's
to
not
find
hard.
Anything. It's just maybe finding what you want.
And
might take a little adventuring.
And how much you want to pay.
Right.
Let's see. Okay. Did I move too far?
No, that was
okay.
Yes, right there.
So Kathy said, watching previous videos, She didn't recall if we spoke Spanish before we moved to Ecuador. No, we did not.
No, I mean we did like for the year, almost year before we came. We did like a little Duolingo and like we did those Spanish lessons on
bring it down
on.
He had a
pre-ply.
Spanish tutor and I did too. That helped some, but it's not the same when you land in Ecuador because you forget all of that.
Yeah, I mean, but it did help. It did help.
You basically understand. It's basically buenos dias, buenas tardes.
Yeah. And there's a few words I picked up from my Spanish tutor because she didn't speak any English, which made it a little difficult for us to communicate. But I had to listen so much that I picked up a lot of words that helped me out when we got here. Because she lived in Guayaquil, and I think yours lived in Quito. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it helped. It helped.
Yeah. Do you see yourselves in Cuenca for several more years, or do you think you would seek other residencies? We don't know. We just go with the flow.
Yeah, well, like right now, we're not actively looking for any other residencies. We plan to be here for a little while, so hopefully, that doesn't change anytime soon.
No, I did not use a realtor. I was just online. I went on Facebook. I went through Marketplace, and by chance and by luck, I happened to find someone, and that's how I got. That's where we are now.
Right.
By that person. You probably need to put that Surfshark back on because
that'll just slow it down. For whatever reason, our chat keeps disconnecting and reconnecting. So if there's an issue, let us know.
Okay. A question came up. Do we feel less stressed by power outages in Cuenca than we did in Salinas? If so, could we elaborate on the specifics? Okay. Stress. Did we feel less stress?
Here.
Oh, I feel less stress here.
Yeah.
Than I did in Salinas. Because when the power went out in Salinas, it went out. There were no generators, for the stores. Yeah. We had a generator in our building.
No, I mean, like, the power was still out because it only worked the elevators and the garage.
The power out. I mean, the generator worked the elevators and the doors. We picked what we wanted to do when the power was out in Salinas. Because if we were still there, that would probably be an issue because we don't know if that generator is working
like it should be
efficiently like it was when we were there.
Yeah, and the stores, I know you just mentioned this, the stores in Salinas weren't quite as prepared for the power outages as they are here in Cuenca.
Well, no. See, the power outages in Salinas wasn't as often.
Well, it's also a few months ago, too.
Yeah, so, we can go into Centro, and of course, there's a line of generators because people are still trying to generate business.
Right.
When you were in Salinas, if the power was out, you can go to a store, but you had to have cash. And it may have been dark down the aisles. They would have somebody come with a flashlight to help you pick out what you needed.
Right, and that was in places like in Centro in
Libertad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was not all the stores.
No.
Some stores just flat out closed because they did not have power. So I wouldn't say I was stressed, but we didn't do as much as we would do here. We still would leave here and go to Central, and you still can have access to certain stores.
Now, the major difference since we've left Salinas and the power is that where we lived on our floor, it stayed cool enough to keep the windows open all the time, whether it's winter time or summer. However, like going into summer right now, I don't know, like that would be if the power was out like overnight when we would normally run our AC in our room, like that might be an issue.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it gets really hot there.
Yeah. Are all the names of the neighborhoods overwhelming?
No, because we don't know them.
I just know streets.
Yeah.
I whenever we travel, going to the grocery store or Central, I always look at streets.
I don't.
I don't know what he look at, but I look at street names, and I try to tell him we're not on this right street, and he was like, I don't know what the street is. I familiarize myself with names of streets.
Because not all the streets are labeled. Like if there is a street sign, it's on the side of a building, and you might miss it. But as far as like neighborhood names, it took us a while to figure out what neighborhood we were in. Honestly, you just kind of have to see like where you are, and sometimes the name of the neighborhood will pop up on like as a taxi or something like that.
First of all, the neighborhood we think we're in, we may not be in.
Yeah.
Okay. Because you just may be in the vicinity of something, and you may still not be in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Have the food prices going up a lot with the drought?
I don't know if we really noticed. I know I've seen news articles about this locally, about certain prices going up, like eggs and certain things. But
we buy mostly from the Mercado, so
yeah. And then I get the eggs I eat, I get from my quail.
So that kind of
they're just the cost of feed, honestly.
Yeah. Have you needed blankets?
Not need extra, no.
Extra? Who?
I mean, like an extra blanket on. You know what I'm saying? You have like your covers or whatever. You have
no,
like
we just
blanket.
got covers.
Yeah.
No need for blankets.
We have our little personal blankets, sometimes, but
no. Okay, so have you? How far is the nearest gym for you?
There are a few within a kilometer. So, like, technically walking distance. 15, 20-minute walk. There's 3 of them where we live. So, yeah, that's...
And for those who are looking for a lap pool, Steve did look online to see if they offer a lap pool here, gym with a lap pool, and he did find one.
I got the name.
It was Piscina something.
Olympia, something like that.
Piscina Olympia, and it was near Central.
No, it's actually not. It's not within walking distance of Central.
I didn't say. I said near Central.
Yeah, everything's near Central technically, but it's kind of on the west side of the city. I don't have the name up right now, but yeah, there is like a big Olympic size swimming pool, and there's a few other swimming pools too. Thank you.
What is your favorite Ecuadorian dish, Steve?
Cazuela. Casserole, basically, it's like a thick. If you get it at a restaurant, it'll come in a big old clay pot, and it's got like this thick base. And usually I get the mixto. Now this was in Salinas. I don't think I've had it since we've been here in Cuenca. Mm-hmm. But I would get the mixto, which is like mixed seafood. It usually has seafood in it, and it's wonderful. And you get like a side of rice with it. It is absolutely wonderful. Cazuela. Look it up on Google. I don't know how many different recipes Google's going to show you.
But look for the Ecuadorian.
Right. It is incredible. And then encebollada, probably. How about you?
Well, my favorite dish was chupe de pescado. Mm-hmm. But the top was the seafood, the crab claws.
Crab nails. Oh yeah.
Crab claws. Yeah. It's a Peruvian dish that I got when I was in Salinas. Love it. I think that was my top. But chupe de pescado is good, but all of that changed recently, so I have to find a new dish.
Dietary changes.
Yeah, I'm almost about to be vegan.
That chupe de pescado is really good. Like, it's up there. It's a soup with fish, like fried fish too. It's incredible.
Do we play pickleball? No.
We don't. I can't.
Is it big there? It was in Salinas.
Yeah.
I don't know about here in Cuenca.
We haven't seen like I don't know. Nobody's really talked to us about like.
But we don't talk about pickleball. So.
Yeah, because I ain't blowing my knees out on the court.
So it was definitely big in Salinas. There were a lot of people playing. Do we keep extra gas tanks on hand? Yeah, we got an extra gas tank on hand if we need it.
Yeah, but they're easy. The gas trucks here in Cuenca that we've noticed
are plentiful.
Plentiful. Everywhere we go, you will hear the little tune, and there's a gas truck nearby. Okay,
so in Salinas, there was the garbage truck had music to notify you when the garbage was going to be picked up. Here in Cuenca, the gas guy has music to let you know they're rotating or in the neighborhood if you need a gas tank.
And they start early in the morning because we can show enough hear them.
What countries border Ecuador? I'll let you do that.
Peru and Colombia. And it's just Peru and Colombia because Peru borders Brazil, so Brazil doesn't touch Ecuador.
Man of fire.
Thank you, Pedro, and we're glad you made it.
All right.
Well, all right. Best of luck to you.
When you were searching for a rental, roughly what percentage of units offer a bathtub? Not many.
Poquito.
Not many. A lot of units or houses that we saw did not offer a bathtub. Now, that's not saying they're not here. Yeah. That's just wasn't one of the things we were looking for. But there are some that offer.
It's one of those things that if it was there, we definitely would have noticed it.
Well, I will say they're on a smaller side.
Yeah.
Because Steve wouldn't be able to fit in it.
Yeah. I mean, if there's places that have jacuzzi tubs and stuff like that, but you really got to look for it.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a condo, a lot of times you're gonna get the amenities can offer jacuzzi, swimming pools, steam rooms, and what was the other one? Saunas.
Sauna, yeah.
Do you have a specific driver you call if you need to take a taxi? No.
Not anymore.
We used to in Salinas. There are some private drivers here if you're interested in having a private driver, but we use Azu Taxi if we want to get a taxi driver, and we take the bus as well.
Yeah, we use the bus more often than anything else, just because it's so easy and convenient. The taxi usually for if we're on the way back home and we've got more stuff than we feel like carrying.
Yeah.
We don't have a personal driver. We know some people do, but we don't really have the need for one.
Do you have a specific? Oh, I'm sorry. Have we visited Peru or Colombia? No, we have not, but we are planning to.
Only long enough to sit in the airport to catch a connecting flight.
We are planning to visit Peru.
Absolutely.
And I think you said you wanted
Colombia,
to go to
Colombia, eventually, yeah. But Peru, because we've
food,
never had bad Peruvian food.
It was amazing Peruvian food. Did you search? Okay, we answer that. How far do you have to walk to arrive at a small mercado? We don't walk. We either take our scooter or we catch the bus to go to a mercado. Yeah. And if we have, the same question was asked by Supermaxi. Supermaxi is an hour if we had to walk. And then you're talking about going down the hills and up, and we're not doing that.
So like technically it's not far, but it's a long walk.
It's a long walk.
And there's a couple of mercados that we could walk to, but walking back with vegetables and whatnot, that's
no.
Just hop on a scooter. Hop on a scooter. It's 5 minutes.
We're not doing that. Yeah. And to a supermercado, we're definitely going to catch the bus. And we try not. I mean, you got to think about when you go to the mercado, and you want a papaya, you want a pineapple, you want some mangoes. Yeah. All of that stuff is heavy.
Yeah, papayas
and you want a watermelon.
Papaya's at least a kilo.
So. Yeah, taxi ride to the mercado is...
Or the bus or the scooter.
Yeah. Let's see. How's your internet speed on a good day with power?
So I've checked it, and our router is a 2.4 gigahertz and a 5 gigahertz router. The 2.4 gigahertz gives me 30-ish megabits. If I'm on the 5G signal, it gives me 70 to 100. and it's fine. It's totally fine. It does everything we need to do. I can upload videos and stuff
See,
with no problem.
he just spoke technical terms I do not understand.
Yeah.
All I need to know was it's good.
Yeah, yeah, and it's not like it's
It's good.
for what it is for the price. It's great. it's totally fine.
So Kathy said, I haven't lived in a condo or apartment for many years. Are the neighbors loud with music or late nights?
Woo.
We did not experience that. We experienced that at the very end
in Salinas.
In Salinas, we had a neighbor.
It was like two young guys.
About a month before we moved. Yeah, they were.
They were loud. Like, they played music all the time.
And they had company on a regular basis.
Always knocking on the door. And it was like right next to us.
Yeah.
And it just so happened like our floor, there was hardly ever anybody there on that floor. Yeah. So we were just used to it being quiet.
We were good for almost 2.5 years with no real neighbors on the floor we lived on until
right before we left.
We
live in a house here, so like noise isn't really an issue.
It's very quiet.
And it depends on where, because where we're in Salinas, it was on the Malicones, the beach area.
Oh yeah, so it depends on we lived in the back of the condo instead of the front. And if you're on the front of the condo, you would hear more. So like if there was a parade going on in Malecon, we didn't hear it.
Yeah, we didn't hear it. We were just right on the back side of the building, but we didn't even hear it. But anything going on in the city, we could hear it.
Yeah, in the back.
Right. So I don't know if did we answer the question?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, okay, yeah. Here, no. Loud music or whatever, no. But in Salinas, it could happen.
Yeah. Well,
it just depends on where you are.
You also have to remember, if you're going to live on the beach, you're going to hear music at some point, whether it's from the bars, especially if your condo is next to a bar, or if your condo is above the bar, you're going to hear music on the weekend, and it could be
guys driving by playing music, yeah.
What's your favorite Mikado?
We've been to a few.
I don't think I have
I don't know if we have a favorite, yeah.
Yeah, we just, whatever I find.
Yeah. If you come into Cuenca though, I think the biggest one, like the biggest overall, is Feria Libre, which is like there's a little bit of everything.
It's indoor and outdoor.
It's
right?
indoor and outdoor. Yeah, it's huge. You can get everything there.
So I was asked, it says, would you say there are less cats meandering in restaurants in Cuenca versus Salinas? I haven't seen a lot of cats in the restaurants here in Cuenca. I would say it was more in Salinas.
Yeah. And it wasn't like we saw a lot of cats in the restaurant.
But they were hanging.
In Guayaquil, there were some. But, yeah, they were hanging around.
If you're feeding them,
they'll be around.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not that big of an issue with the cats here so far. Like, so far, it hasn't been as big an issue. And for anyone watching who doesn't understand what we're talking about, LaShawn has a phobia for cats. So we're always on the lookout for them.
Yeah. It's not, even walking down streets here is not that bad. I haven't come across strays like we did in Salinas.
Not as often, yeah.
Because in Salinas, you can walk down the street and there can be 12 cats.
Right across the street. Just looking at you.
And then across the street from my friend's house, it was a neighbor. I think she was breeding them and rescuing them. They were breeding.
They were breeding themselves.
Yeah. No. So.
Yeah. Pamela, are there a lot of festivals and celebrations in Ecuador? If so, what are some of your favorites so far? So, yes, there's
New Year's is his favorite.
I love New Year's. I love it. They celebrate everything here, and there's stuff you've never heard of. There's something, I swear we learn something every month or two. We learn about some new celebration or something that's being celebrated. And it's always so cool to learn some of like the culture here, because it's so like genuine, and it's really so interesting. And it's hard to say, like, I don't know. There's lots. I'll just say that there's lots of them.
And there's some things that we missed. We don't know that is going on.
Until after the fact.
Sometimes you can be in Central and see there's something happening.
Right. There's a street block. It's like, what's going on? It's like there's some celebration or something going on that we had no idea, and we're learning about it. Also, there's a difference in like some of the things that get celebrated on the coast versus here in the mountains. Like there's things, like I said, that we're learning stuff since we've been here that we had never heard of in the 2.5 years in Salinas. So there's lots. But yeah, for me, New Year's, because I don't know, they just have so much fun on New Year's. It's awesome to me.
Yeah, it's a lot of fireworks. Yeah. Well, in Salinas.
Right. I'm not sure. Yeah.
About Cuenca, but in Salinas, it is fascinating to see and the excitement of it all and how they all come together as a family and just do stuff together and the enjoyment on the kids' faces.
Genuine fun. It's really cool. So we'll see how it is here. You know, we'll have to do an update and talk about our experience for our first New Year in Cuenca. Good news on the cast in the restaurant, thanks. Yeah. Appear to be looks like 13 currently. Yep.
Have either of you had a close call with a scrape, nip, or bite from a local dog or cat? No. Well, let me just say this. There's a lot of stray dogs, and some of them are owned. They're just out and walking about. We talked about that, I think, on the last video we had. If I see a dog, I'm not just going to assume it's friendly.
Never.
And especially if it's laying in front of a house, I'm not going over there.
Every dog is Cujo.
I don't know if it's because I don't know their temperament. And I know it was asked, do we pet? No, I don't pet any animal.
Even if it walks up to us, no. And that's just a general rule for us, because even like our own dogs, we didn't encourage people to pet our dogs, because a dog, if a dog comes up to you, it's supposed to basically sit and wait to be petted or greeted or whatever. So yeah, we don't go out of our way to greet dogs because that builds a bad habit with the dog.
About when we had dogs before, if we were walking in the neighborhood and kids always like, I'm like, I have to tell them to wait, and I have to tell my dog to sit, and then I would rub the dog and then let them rub while I'm rubbing the dog. Yeah. So I can, if anything happens, I can mitigate the situation at the moment.
We say all that to say, no, we ain't touching nobody's dog. And plus, like, I don't know if it looks like a stray, because some of the dogs here have owners and they look like strays. I'm not touching a dirty dog, so I don't want to say that like, oh, I don't want to touch it because it's filthy, but.
Well, if the strays, because you don't know if they have
mange or fleas. Yeah, ticks. I'm not bringing anything back home.
Yeah, because a lot of them are matted, so you don't know where you're getting into.
Err on the side of caution.
Kathy said when we were
there last year, people
online would say things like, don't keep your cell phones out. We didn't notice anything like theft. Hold on, this thing is. But is it a real thing? Phone snatchers? I don't know about phone snatchers, but I know that they will. You may have a gun pointed at you.
Yeah, like somebody can steal your phone, which is typically the thing they're going to try to go after anyway. It is definitely possible to have your phone snatched. I want to say there was a couple signs like in Central about like pickpocketers and stuff like that. Excuse me, you can get pickpocketed. That's pretty much any city you can think of anywhere in the world. I would say this, and this is something that we discuss, and even if LaShawn does it by accident, I'll say, hey, put your phone up.
Yeah, he does.
Never look like you don't know what you're doing.
And I do it all the time.
Right.
And it's just a habit because I'm trying to see where I need to go.
Right. If you look at your phone and you're looking around like this, like people know you don't know. You either don't know where you are, or you're a tourist or something. And like that makes you a target.
Yeah.
Especially if you're by yourself.
Well, in Salinas, it could be different. If you just have your phone out, there are people who are just trying to steal your phone.
Right.
So it doesn't really matter if you are not looking like a tourist.
Oh
They
yeah,
just
they
want
just
your
want your
phone.
phone. Yeah.
So those things were happening in Salinas and Libertad. So
It seems just on anecdotal evidence, it seems like it was more prevalent there, but it can definitely
it
happen
be
anywhere.
anywhere.
Yeah, in the country. So, I, to your question, don't walk around with your phone out. Like that's the best option. If you need to look at it, so if like you had getting directions or something, just duck into a store, or if you got somebody with you, kind of duck behind them or something.
Yeah.
Just be a little more inconspicuous about it instead of kind of walking around with your phone out. You'll see people doing it. Trust me, like Ecuadorians too. You'll see people walking around, like this, doing selfies and whatnot.
But we
don't. Yeah, I don't do it unless I need to actually be looking at something, and it's only one of us. It's usually not both of us on our phone.
No. Pam said, "Will you be doing any further trivia game shows, like
Yeah.
shows with other couples?" Uh, we are trying. It's not as easy because people are on different
Schedules, yeah.
schedules and different time zones.
Yeah.
So
And then if there's anyone here in Ecuador, then like we got to schedule around potential blackouts.
So
it just makes it's a little wonky to kind of put. We really have fun. Trust me when I tell you, we're gonna do another one because I have so much fun coming up with these stupid questions.
But the thing is, it's just working around power outages right now, so we're just holding off on that at the moment.
Can you click the? Oh, I'm sorry. Go
ahead. Dave said, "My girlfriend is from Peru. Houston, have you tried cuy yet?"
Yes, I have, and it's delicious, and I plan on getting some more of those delicious, cute little guinea pigs. They cook up real nice. Might bite you.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely not trying to be bit by these stray animals.
So with petting dogs, thought to be friendly, perhaps hearing words will help influence. Yeah. General rule: we don't touch any stray animal, or honestly, we don't touch people's pets.
Yeah. I don't. Okay, so me being a previous dog owner, my pet peeve is people walking up, petting my dog. Because I know my dog likes me. I know my dog is going to protect me.
I don't know if the dog like you.
Exactly. So if you're walking into our personal space, I don't know how she or he going to react because you're just walking up. Mm-hmm. So, and then also to prevent dogs from fighting, respect the dog's personal space. Don't just allow your dog just to wander over and just think my dog is friendly. Mm-hmm. My dog is friendly, but
you could also be thinking that you're a threat.
Right. So, yeah, we don't just arbitrarily just walk up and say, "Hey, let me touch your pet."
Let's see. Situational awareness is key. You got to remind exactly, like you got to know where you are. And one other tip is that like if we're going somewhere, I will pull up, and it's somewhere like I just need directions like to walk. I'll pull up the directions. I'll look at it, and I'll say, okay, I need to go 2 blocks up, and then turn left and go 1 block. And then I put the phone in my pocket.
Yeah, he does.
I don't hold it out and wait for Google to tell me. I'll feel it buzz when it's telling me to turn left or whatever. But I already know how far I need to go and where I need to turn. I just don't like this situational awareness. Let's see. Pedro, thank you for the super chat. Much obliged. Thank you for helping to answer so many relevant questions. You are a tremendous team. We try. We had 26 years to figure it out,
Okay. Pedro also asked, were you surprised to see the Eagles beat the Ravens?
No. I might go put my jersey on right now.
No, he's not.
No, it's never. I was just happy. I was grateful that they won because that game started out real slow. So I was really grateful that they won and pulled that win out. And I believe you also asked about Justin Tucker, the kicker. I don't think they're going to get rid of him. He's kind of a legend, and I don't see them getting rid of him this season unless he has another game like this last one. then they might go for a backup kicker. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, so it said, as a subscriber to your channel, we know you refer to yourselves as homebodies. Whether in Salinas or in Cuenca, when you are approached by expats previously unknown and invited to X event, what are some of your go-to statements to graciously pass? Well, if we have something that we already have planned, we graciously tell them we
Yeah,
won't be able to
can't
make
make
it.
it. Yeah.
If for
Well, it's usually doesn't happen that way where like we meet somebody that we didn't had never spoken to, and then they invite us to something. Like they might tell us about an event. Well, maybe it has happened. Yeah.
yeah, it has
Yeah.
happened. When we went to the meetup when we first got here.
Yeah. Yeah.
We were not doing anything.
But we didn't turn that one down. So like
We were just trying to. No, we didn't turn it down, just so we can get our footings and trying
to meet some people and get some information. But I think generally speaking that like if we get invited to something, it's usually like an event where like a lot of expats are going to be around typically. And it's like, hey, this thing is going on. If you want to come, you can.
Yeah.
We'll say, okay, we'll see. You know,
Yeah, it just depends on what it is that we want to do. But we're not going to do something on a regular. Like
No.
if it's something that happens every week,
we're not doing it.
no.
And it's not like
He has spoken.
Right. It's not a. It's nothing against like the event or anything like that. Like that's just not us. Like we don't want to be on anyone's schedule. That's the best way I can put it. Yeah.
I don't want to be on the schedule. Period.
Yeah, I want to be on. Yeah, the only schedule I'm on is like whatever we feel like doing.
Okay, Kathy said, "Have you met your friends in Cuenca?
How have you?
Oh, how have?
Yeah.
In the grocery stores, we've met a lot of our subscribers.
Yeah.
Walking in central grocery stores, different stores,
Supermaxis.
just different places.
Yeah, and there are people that have maybe had spoken to us on through comments on videos, and they just introduce
and
themselves.
They recognize him.
They always see me.
They recognize him, and it's so.
It's odd. It's odd. Trust me, I don't mind. It's an odd feeling. That's all. When someone recognizes me, for videos, and I'm like, oh, all right, cool. I love it, honestly. Yeah. But yeah, we haven't. I don't know if we've met many. Yeah, we have. I have met a few people that I hadn't really spoken to before.
He has, because a lot of times I'll be in a store
and I'll be waiting for her,
and
someone will come up to me.
Yeah. So, have you noticed any expats who don't seem interested in trying to learn Spanish?
Yes. Unfortunately. It seems like some people are very interested in trying to learn Spanish, and other people aren't. And I don't know. I mean, to me, it's a detriment to you if you don't try to learn Spanish at some point. All right, you're trying to improve your Spanish, right? Is English typically spoken at expat events?
Yes.
Only. Unless there's a Spanish-speaking person there.
Except for at Lorana's event. And
Lorana's bilingual.
She forces.
Yeah.
When she does speak in Spanish, I am surprised that I understand so much of what she says. Yeah. And it's great that she does do that because it forces me to listen and try to understand. But yeah, at a lot of the expats events, English is mostly spoken.
Yeah. Talking about how you make a living. For us, we retired early. That's basically it.
Yeah, he retired me, so.
Yeah.
I'm good.
It depends on your current lifestyle. Like if you can retire, if you get some kind of pension or something like that, it can be fairly easy to live here. Honestly, if you're good with a budget and you know what you want and you're not, I don't know, don't go wild with purchases that you don't need just because you think you might need it. Yeah. There's a chance you probably don't.
Yeah, we really try to buy only the essentials of what we need because I don't want to get in the habit of just buying stuff because you just accumulate so much stuff for no reason. And I don't need all of that. We're just trying to enjoy our lives and sit back and relax.
That's pretty much it. Pedro, thank you again for the super chat. Click like. Phone being exposed in public. Based upon our experiences, how do you feel about frequent use of small point and shoot camera? It'll be fine, honestly, if you have like a small, like those little digital cameras or like a GoPro or something that you need to pop out and put back in the pocket. Little action cams, stuff like that. Totally fine. Or another option is get like a cheaper burner phone. If you're in the U.S., you can get a burner phone pretty cheap. They're pretty cheap here, but you can get a better quality cheap one in the U.S. So you can get a cheap Samsung and stuff like that. I would do that if you're gonna plan on like doing taking videos and pictures. You want a decent camera. So if you're in the U.S., then yeah, like get the Samsung. What's it? I don't know, A35, whatever it's called. I forgot. But there's options that are like less than $400. Google Pixel. I have a Google Pixel for $400. You can get a really good camera for a low price. You don't need the brand new iPhone 16 or anything like that. Get yourself a burner phone. It's always a decent option.
Okay, so the next question. In one of your earlier videos, you mentioned the water was much harder than Salinas. In comparison with Salinas, have your clothes taken a beating? Are you air drying your clothes or using a dryer? So here in Cuenca, the water is hard, but it's not hard on our clothes.
Yeah, it hasn't been, yeah.
If you do air dry your clothes, yeah, it's going to be a little rough,
And that's with fabric softener in the washer.
So it's just the sun is really...
Yeah, it's tough. And it's dry here. It's really dry.
Yeah, it's dry. There's no humidity here.
Yeah. So things dry fairly quickly, not like Salinas where it takes a long time for something to dry.
Yeah. And in Salinas... our clothes took more of a beating there because of the salt.
Yeah. Like, where's these holes in my jeans coming from? Like,
the salt and moths. You don't see the moths, but the moths were there.
Yeah, I don't think we had such an issue with that. I know people did. Like, people did have like an issue with moths, little larvae or whatever.
Yeah, and you have what is the mold that grows?
I don't know what kind of mold it is, but I'm glad you brought that up because in Salinas. Things, if you just kind of let them sit for a while, they'll get this like white mold on them, and it didn't matter what it was. Like, if the mold could grow on it, it would.
Yeah, it's greenish color. It would be on your shoes. It'd be on your jacket.
It was on it. Yeah, any shoes that we like left under our bed and didn't wear for a while, you pull them out and it's like mold
all over it. It could be in your closet.
Yeah, in a drawer, like a hat or whatever. So
in Salinas, that was
an issue in Salinas. Yeah. So I would usually spray with like foot fungus spray or whatever. You just spray it on certain things that had the mold on it, and it would go away, and it would take a long time before it came back. So that's one thing.
That was an issue we had in Salinas and little holes.
Yeah, because the air in Salinas is really, the air is really wet, but it's not muggy, but it's really humid. If that makes sense, it's just not muggy. So there's a lot of moisture in the air, and if that stuff, you sit stuff like under a bed or in a drawer, it will grow that mold on it after a while. But it's not the same here. The salt, though, would eat our clothes.
Your salt would eat everything.
Yeah, salt eats your clothes in Salinas. And everything else. If it's metal, it's going to have rust. Yeah.
B said, how do single people do moving around and safe? From what we've seen, they move around well and very safely. I think they take the same precautions couples would take.
You got to watch your own back. Yeah, that's the main difference. And know where you're going. I would just say
know where you're going.
Know where you're going.
Get what you need to get,
and go back.
Yeah.
If you look lost and you're by yourself, then like there's just a better chance to be a victim. That's a military thing. Make yourself a harder target.
And Lorana said, if Raggedy Spanish is a language, she speaks that.
Well, guess what? We understand raggedy Spanish, so
and obviously they understand it too because
Yeah.
they understand Lorana.
Thanks. You look and sound really put together. Thank you for your service. Thank you. I try.
I try to keep them together.
It's all window dressing.
I try to keep them together. So, what is my favorite movie of all times? I have
Do 2 or 3.
I got quite a few. So, I don't know if any of you all know The Fifth Element. I love that movie.
She loves that movie.
Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2.
Especially 1.
And Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
I was so happy when he came out with a second one, but
For me, that's a
he
loaded question.
he has a
Yeah.
list.
So before I'll preface this, I do have another channel. I talk about movies and TV shows. So some of my favorite stuff is already on there. If you want to check it out, it's called Steve's MGT. There might be a link in the description.
Movie, games, and television.
Right. So for me, my very favorite movie of all time is Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon. I went to the movies to see that in 1985. I've never looked back. I love that movie. However, I have several honorable mentions / runner-ups.
I don't think they're honorable mentions.
Commando is one of my all-time favorites. Rocky IV is one of my all-time favorites. Aliens, Terminator 1 and 2. The list goes on.
Yeah.
They live like...
He watched a lot of television.
I watch a lot of movies.
I don't. I have just a few that he knows if it's on, that's what I'm going to watch.
I can talk movies all day.
He could. And I just sit there and listen.
She likes them too.
I watch them, but if any of y'all watch From,
That's-
FROM,
It is the best, most frustrating show you
Yes.
can watch. So it's like an MGM plus show or whatever. It's good,
It's
but at the
good.
same time, it will infuriate you.
it's so frustrating. It's on season 4, and we still
No,
don't
3. Well, 3
What?
just ended. 3 just
Yeah,
ended.
we still don't know what's going on.
Yeah, they answered like 2 questions really, and then
I-
created a bunch more.
Yeah.
It's basically Lost.
But I never watched
Well,
Lost.
I didn't really watch Lost either, but let me say this: the show is from the creators of Lost. So if that gives you any kind of indication about, but I don't know, it's so you want to keep watching it, but at the same time it'll piss you off.
Yeah. Paige, wasn't Chris Tucker in Fifth Element? Haven't seen that in
Yeah,
He was the one announced it.
the flamboyant guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
but
was-
it was a Bruce Willis and what's the lady's name?
I can't think.
Lilu, but
Lilu. Yeah, Lilu. Yeah. Okay, we're not going to talk
anyway,
about that.
we're gonna get sidetracked.
Do you stream TV and shows in Spanish or English? We watch both. I watch a lot in Spanish to try to understand Spanish, but it's very hard to find shows that are Ecuadorian speaks
Ecuadorian Spanish, yeah.
Ecuadorian Spanish. It's using Mexican.
Colombian, there's like Colombian shows and Mexican shows and like Argentine, but like
Yeah.
like there's certain little differences in the way that people speak in different South American countries, so they can make it a little different. But in general, yes, like LaShawn does watch a lot of stuff in Spanish. I don't.
Yeah, and he still understands faster than I do.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to have to try to interpret what I'm watching. You know what I'm saying? Like if a show is in like Korean on like Netflix, I like watching it in the original Korean. I read the subtitles.
Yeah.
But as far as like Spanish, no, I don't.
Yeah, I watched recently I watched a movie on Netflix called The Secret of the River. It was really good. I did watch that in Spanish. And it was a limited series, so I think it was like 6 episodes. But I watched that in Spanish. So if you're not doing anything and want to just watch something on Netflix,
Yeah.
The Secret of the River is really good.
You found Spanish Sesame Street. That actually might be a good idea.
Yeah. Do you think Hollywood doesn't put out enough good movies these days?
Ooh, so they do put out a lot of good movies. They just aren't the ones that you might get like a lot of advertising for.
Like what?
I mean, there's good movies out there. You just got to know. I
don't know about
you know how much TV I watch.
see a lot of remakes, spinoffs.
Yeah, there's some, but there's rehashes and whatnot can get a little out of hand. Um, they're coming out with like a remake of Naked Gun, which is one of my favorite movies, with Liam Neeson and Pamela Anderson. Liam Neeson as Frank Drebin. I don't know how that's going to turn out, but I love the Naked Gun series.
He loved Liam Neeson. Period.
No, you mean Leslie Nielsen.
Was it Leslie Liam? Oh, Liam. Okay,
yeah.
Leslie. Okay.
What did I say? Liam? Is it Liam Neeson?
You said Liam Neeson
from Taken.
From Taken, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Leslie Nielsen was the original.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking. Okay.
Anyway, sorry, sidetrack. Yeah. Actually, I spoke to them, B, and one of these days we're going to be able to meet up.
All right, so I don't think I have any more questions. I appreciate all the questions. Anyone else has any questions
shoot them.
I
think we'll end it in maybe in a few minutes, but we got some more questions. We wouldn't mind answering those.
If you have any questions about here in Cuenca or Salinas, we would definitely try to give you our best answer.
Thank you, Dennis. The next time we do this, it'll be 100,000. So anyway, while I'm waiting for any questions, if you so choose, we do have our other channels you can check out. I will be putting some more videos up on the What Schools Don't Teach channel. I've just been really busy lately, so I haven't been able to do it. I have some recent movies that I've talked about on the other channel. So if you're interested in those things, we talked about in a recent video we did together about the Mandela effect. If anyone has any Mandela effects that they know about,
oh my God,
let us know, because that's crazy. Does anyone here remember stovetop stuffing? Because apparently they never existed.
But anyway, hold on.
I just want to know.
Dennis says, how are the birds, Steve? Quail.
They're great. I get my eggs every day. They're small, so until I get some more birds, I'm getting a new cage. So until I get some more birds, I'm only getting 3 eggs a day from each bird. The male's doing fine. He's separate. He makes noise, I guess, when he hears the ladies talking.
I think he encouraged them to lay eggs.
Yeah, but I get my eggs every day. Some days I get 4, some days I only get 2. But it averages out to 3 every day, and they're delicious.
Thank you, Pedro. Again, percentage-wise, do you think there are more expats holding out on trying to learn Spanish in Salinas or in Cuenca? Oh, okay.
Probably couldn't give you a percentage.
Yeah. We have run into people who didn't want to learn Spanish.
Right.
Was not trying to learn Spanish. And like Steve said, that's a detriment.
Yeah.
To them, because why wouldn't you want to learn Spanish even though although you move to a country that is
speak Spanish.
So but as far as in Cuenca,
we haven't run into it. I'm pretty. The thing is, what Cuenca is that it's probably easier to get along without knowing Spanish than it is in Salinas. Like it's kind of difficult to get along in Salinas without having Google Translate or knowing Spanish. Here, you'll run into a few more Ecuadorians that speak English, but don't count on it at all. So yeah, percentage-wise, I'm not sure, honestly.
Okay. Do you recommend a dummy wallet?
I'd recommend anything that is some kind of decoy. If you have a dummy wallet or one of those backpacks that are like tamper-proof or pickpocket-proof or something like that, or having a wallet under your shirt or in your waistline, and then like you said, a dummy.
Now, some people do those money. I forget
little belts or whatever.
Yeah, money belt.
There's ways to keep yourself safe. If you got jeans on, like don't put stuff in your back pocket. I don't. Just know where your stuff is at all times. Yeah. Basically.
And for women, you can carry a crossover bag. You can carry a backpack. Just try to be aware of your surroundings. You can also wear the backpack in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know what.
And that's the best practice, honestly, keeping it in front of you. But you'll see people walking around with backpacks on their back all the time here. It's really normal. But if you're in a crowded situation, definitely put it somewhere where it's accessible only to you.
Oh, okay. But Pedro, thank you for joining us. Thank you for all your questions that you sent, and
we appreciate you greatly.
Then it says more birds and a male will give you more eggs.
Yeah, I do plan on getting probably 4, maybe 5 birds, depending on the exact dimensions of the cage on the inside of the new cage, because the 3 I have now, they got a little bigger than I expected.
Oh, they're fat.
Yeah.
They're eating pretty good.
Yeah, so I may end up only getting, when I get the new cage, like 3 more birds, maybe 4, maybe. So we'll see about that.
And he said the male will keep your ladies in order.
Yeah.
He controls the pecker. Well, he's not in there with them.
He's not in there with them right now because they jumped him. They jumped him and they were going in on him, but it was only 3 of them, and I do know that like you need like 4 or 5 for each male to kind of keep it, keep things copacetic in there. So we'll have to see about that.
Kat says she can't imagine people messing with you.
I mean, I don't put anything past anybody. I worked in adult and juvenile corrections for 20 years, and I've had to fight off people that were like a foot shorter than me. So I don't put anything past anybody.
I don't know how to do
but I am prepared.
And David, thank you for joining us.
Yep. We're very thankful for all of y'all, and for anyone watching in the future. Thank you. Make sure you hit the subscribe button.
And thank you all for your questions. Hopefully, we are hoping that we answer your question to the best of our abilities and gave you as much information that we could. We're our homebodies, but we try to give as much information that we find out and pass along.
Yeah. And our videos, if we might be a little odd for some of the videos that we do, like
we're
maybe a little
couple.
different. Yeah, maybe a little different than some that you're gonna see. So there's plenty of content out there if you're looking for certain things, but we just try to have some fun.
And thank you all for joining us.
Hey, Johnny. Hey, so we did get a chance to meet Johnny. She's awesome. Her and her husband are awesome. And she's been with us for a long time, since the beginning. Oops.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Pedro. Gays Electricity Troubles, how'd you potentially revisit your relocation? Oh. You're welcome. Yeah. So she's talking about the video that we did where we said like will we reevaluate Ecuador based on like the current energy crisis and like telling people like you should probably wait.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully it's getting better. The hours
went down this week.
Yeah, it's not as long as.
And it's supposed to rain like almost every day this week.
And we've been getting rain, so it's been great. LeBron said, keep the protein up. If their protein is low, they tend to become aggressive and fight.
Yeah. And I give them plenty of eggshells. They love them eggshells. They're pecking at my hand before I can even reach in there.
Can I find a natural face cream?
Can you find? I think like, are you asking if she found one or if you want one? B. Either way, do you have an answer for that question?
I don't use a face cream because it breaks me out. I just use water. That's it. But I'm pretty sure there are some here, but I don't use facial cream because I'm that 1% in everything. So we're not going to go into that's a long story. But no, I just use regular water.
And soap.
I don't use soap on my face.
I mean, when you wash.
No, I don't. I don't put soap on my face. Oh. Thank you for trying to tell me what I do with my face.
I ain't in there when you do it.
Well, how you know? How you gonna suggest it? See, this is okay. It's time to go. Thank you all for joining us.
Yeah.
like, share, and subscribe. And I don't know how often he would like to do these lives.
Yeah, if you want to see some more lives, let us know. Let's put something in the comments or email us, livinglovinabroad@gmail. You can check us out on Instagram, TikTok. So, really thank you once again. And before you leave, hit the like button.
And thank you again, Pedro, for your super chats.
Absolutely. All right, everyone.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.